Well, I just mentioned in passing, since it's another of my preoccupations at the minute, the clothing, especially the clothing that's directly touching the skin. Cotton or wool. Not man-made fibres, right? You don't want microplastics all over you. You don't really want microplastics anywhere near you. Your paints, as they erode, they give off the bulk of probably the microplastics in the atmosphere. Plastic containers, use glass ones or ceramic. Saucepans, don't use a non-stick. And by the way, don't use microwaves. You can work out the obvious possible hazards of such. I mean, it's not rocket science. It's fairly obvious. Things might not be such a good idea. Cloths. You just check those kitchen cloths that you buy from the supermarket. Are they cotton? If not, just cut up old towels and use those as cloths and flannels and so forth. You don't want to be administering microplastics to everything you wipe the cloth with. But certainly clothing. You can start there. Cotton socks. Or wool if you don't sweat too much, Underwear, cotton. If the trousers are against the legs, well, probably cotton jeans are best. I don't wear jeans myself. Well, I do in winter to keep warm. They're under they're under my outer trousers, which are, there might be a cotton mix, but they're a man-made fibre as well. Jumpers. You not keep warm in a man-made jumper. You need a wool one if you're in a cold climate. New Zealand, they stick on an extra jumper in winter. They didn't think of central heating or air conditioning properly, Now they've developed heat pumps and so on, and they have double glazing as compulsory in their building code. Astonishing turnaround. They mocked me when I suggested it to friends when I first came in 1996. Why don't you have double glazing? Oh, you don't need it here. Just put on an extra jumper in winter. Well, the extra jumper doesn't do it now. 2 or 3 layers of artificial fibre is not terribly warm. It's warmer than 1 layer. That's all you can say. There's a thick, heavy jumper. Trouble is, it costs the earth now, doesn't it? You have to go to the op shop like Marshall. I'm dressed in op shop clothing, Oh, except the underwear. Yeah, no, I buy that. I buy that new. Yeah, but a cheap place. I don't look for the costly. I mean, I buy from the Kmart or the Bunnings or the Mitre 10. Oh, no, they don't sell. No, Bunnings and Mitre 10, they don't sell clothes. What is it that does? Warehouse. That's right, we have the warehouse here. But whatever your massive outlet store is. I shall buy my socks from the market, the lady who knows me well now over the years. The bedding you're sleeping in. Cotton or linen, yeah? But definitely not nylon or whatever man-made fibre can be, okay? Pillows, the same. Pyjamas, of course, the same if you wear pyjamas. When you're driving, make sure you've got a circulation of air in that car. You breathe oxygen, and you don't want all the positive ions that are generated by the man-made materials, plastics and coatings. I got in my car, was it yesterday? No, day before yesterday. And after it had been serviced, I thought, what is that smell? Oh, I forgot to tell him not to use any sprays and that in the cabin. Gosh, I chatted to the chap who did it. He said, I only sprayed the front footwell carpet. Oh, I said, oh, that's the rugs, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, fine, good. I'll get rid of them. So I came home, took them out. Well, that took the smell out of the car, hung them on the line. That did most of it. Stuck them in the garage, or in the shed as it's called here. Yeah, I got enough other scruff bits of rug to use. But do you see? Be careful what you're breathing. Make sure there's air circulating. I suspect from a window partially open rather than the aircon. But of course, if it's too hot or too cold, you're going to shut the windows and put the aircon on and adjust it to heat or cold as needed. But make sure it's a flow of air. Don't have that setting that gives internal circulation only. You want air coming in from outside. You are a living, breathing being. By the grace of God. Thank you, Heavenly Dad. Oh, and water. I'm collecting rainwater at the minute. It will still have some microplastics from the atmosphere, of course, so I can't do much about that. I could filter it through a carbon filter, but who knows what's in the carbon, you know. I don't, anyway. I more normally use distilled water. Oh, it's a bit costly on electric power, isn't it? So I thought, how about collecting the rain? Not off the roof, of course. We don't know what coatings are on the roof. Well, I know what's on this roof. I mean, I might use roof water for the plants, but I'm not going to drink it myself. Okay, you want open air catchment of water, not bounced off the roof. Yes, pure water. If you must drink water, you'd be better drinking juice. In fact, you'd be better just eating fruit, not juicing it. Unless the stuff you're buying is not organic, in which case there's just a chance that the fibre in the fruit may filter out some of the chemicals that may be on the land that the fruit trees are growing in, and that they spray onto the tree. So, unless you can get hold of organic fruit, well, you might be better juicing. You could say you'd be too low on fibre, but you only need a high level of fibre, as far as I can see, when you're taking in a high level of contaminants from cooked and manufactured foods. If you're on basically a fruit diet, I think you can manage on extremely low levels of everything, especially fibre. And even then, of course, you'll have massive amounts of vitamin C going in just from the fruit, which is one of the few things the body doesn't actually produce itself. So have a mind to what you're drinking. Prefer fruit juice to water, but if you do have to drink water, drink pure water. And filters don't filter purely. I mean, they're a step in the right direction, don't get me wrong. If that's all you can do, good on you. But if you can do better, you'd be wise to do so. You know, chlorine and any other rubbish they may put in the water and what it may have picked up. And not a good idea to drink, really. I remember I was absolutely speechless to find a Mexican chap I was giving a lift to in Essex when I was living there. I was a young man. He said, "Where can I get distilled water?" I said, "Well, you haven't got a car. What do you need distilled water for?" Because we used to use it in the battery of the car, top up with distilled water. He said, "To drink." I said, "Oh, well, the only place that I know of that does distilled water is the garage, but I wouldn't have thought it was a good idea to drink it from there." It was an extremely hot day, and I was giving this Mexican a lift who was used to extremely hot weather, of course, and water is a very important thing to presumably a Mexican. But he drank distilled water. I thought, what is that about? Yeah. When we first hear an idea, we think, oh, that's rubbish, that's just fanciful nonsense. I'm not following that. Like when I first came across a vegan young chap, my wife and I thought, well, that's ridiculous, isn't it? And we hadn't long been vegetarian, really. Only about a year or so. And perhaps a bit more. Yeah. Oh, no. Anyway, we thought it was absurd being vegan. 1 year later, she says to me, I think we'll become vegan. I said, oh, right, love. Bless her. Oh, that was the first wife, yes. She doesn't love me now, I can tell you, but that's another story. Thank you, Heavenly Dad.